Hello, everybody. It's me, Ross, and welcome back to another edition of the recap. And today I'm joined by good old Matt Makin as we bring you the 5 takeaways from the 1-1 draw with Oxford United. And oh dear, we're still gutted, aren't we, from the late equaliser from Oxford United. Matt, thank you very much for joining me. We're going to get right into your first takeaway, and that is on Kieran McKenna. We always do Kieran McKenna situations on this takeaways video, but him being adaptable is just fantastic, isn't it, Matt?
It is. It really is, because we're adaptable and we adapt to who we're playing. But it's not in that style that Mick used to do, where it would just be matching up formations. We've got broadly speaking our formation, but it's the nuance in there that is slightly different for each team we play. And certainly, like the way before he was injured, McKenna would bring Jackson, especially to use his pace to get in behind. And again, I think we looked to sort of play our game and sort of impose our game on Oxford, which we did really quite successfully right up until the 95th minute. But again, it's that and McKenna said when he came in, he wasn't too worried about, he's not a formations guy per se, and like I said, it's what we do on the ball and off the ball, and depending on like the style of the team we're playing, it's really refreshing to see us do that, especially sort of. I've gone into that from Paul Cook going, right, well, I've got 4-2-3-1, and if that doesn't work, I've got a 4-2-3-1, and if that doesn't work, maybe I'll try 4-2-3-1.
So the second takeaway, Matt, is just the team spirit. The celebrations of Selena's goal. He is the showmaker, and he's the man who loves scoring the big moments, and the fans in the way, and during that way, and limbs everywhere. It was one hell of a moment, wasn't it? But of course, it didn't happen. Yeah.
It was fantastic. It's one of the best away goal celebration experiences I've had in a long time. I was lucky I'd stayed on my feet, people piling in from behind us. So we were quite sort of high up in the away end as well. And I think, really we felt like a group of individuals. And I know that a lot of that is down to the churn there was over the summer and 19 new players coming in. But it really feels like McKenna's got a proper team spirit. The way we celebrated it and the way we created that goal as a team as well, because we had in that minute, sort of the minutes preceding up to that, we'd had sort of a few goes at building it out, but there was a real team effort, and like Wes Burns putting that cap on that he found down by the touchline, things like that. It's just that they look like happy to play together and play for the club, and that really has come to the fore since McKenna took over in December, and I really like seeing that. I haven't seen it, for a long time. I couldn't tell you that. I'm probably 14, 15 maybe under Mick, but yeah, not like this for a very long time.
Well, takeaway 3 is, once again, we're repeating ourselves, and it is taking those chances. 1-0 up, we didn't feel like we were going to lose the game. Then, of course, Oxford scoring in that corner. And if we scored maybe 2 or 3, would have been all rosy in Oxford. But, Matt, it's just one of those cases where we just didn't take our chances once again.
Yeah, because second half particularly, we were the dominant side and we were creating plenty of chances, and it's just at 1-0 you think, right, we'll see the game out. We never looked in any real danger up until and not until we considered that corner did I suddenly have a bad feeling. But you put sort of 2 or 3 away, and you can almost get away with it. Poor old Cam Burgess, bless him. He did just switch. He had a great game, but he just switched off at the end for that goal. But those things are more costly when you've not kind of really got the scoreline to match sort of how you've imposed yourself on the game. And really, I think to have got 2 or 3 goals in that second half wouldn't have flattered us at all.
So the fourth takeaway is on good old Sammy Moore. He, of course, was on the bench for this game, but then came on in the second half. And what a difference maker he is. But if we had a backup, a like for like, it would be so different, wouldn't it?
It really would, because I think in the same way that we really missed him when he limped off against Portsmouth the previous weekend, we really saw what we've been missing when he came on alongside Bon early into the second half. And it's no coincidence that sort of heralded the domination that we had, because he's a defensively minded midfielder, but he really can drive out as well and create that attack, and everything goes through him. Whereas I think when you had Backinson and Carroll in that first half, and I don't dislike either player, and I'm on the record of saying I didn't see the point in Backinson loaning out half and bringing in like for like, but he's growing on me, and Carroll is good on the ball. Certainly, I'm not in the David Fletcher camp on Tom Carroll, but again, Tom Carroll's really lightweight, and neither of them can sort of do what Morsey does. And whereas we've got sort of backups for that more sort of defensive of the two in middle, so when Evans is out, you've got Backinson there, you've got Carroll there. We haven't got a like for like backup in the squad for Morsey, and that's I'm really hoping that's sort of high on McKenna's list of things to do in the summer, because Sammy Morsey's great, but he's been injured, he's that sort of player. He's going to get suspended at least once a season, so you need a backup there in the squad so that you don't lose that bite in the middle of the park for the way that we play.
So the final takeaway, Matt, is of course we're going to talk about the referee, the officials in general in all leagues. It's always a talking point in games, and once again, that could have been was ruined because of the referee.
Yeah, it was. I wouldn't say it's necessarily influenced the outcome of the match, but particularly in the first half. I mean, poor old Joe Pigott. I mean, he didn't have the greatest of games, and sort of the mobility of an oil tanker, but he was getting some rough treatment from the Oxford players. And there's a few times the ref completely and the linesman in front of us missed it. And I think actually at one point the cheer went up from the away end when a foul was given against Oxford for a challenge on Pigott. One of the people I was with had nipped down to get a drink, thought she'd missed a goal. It says a lot about how we're reacting, and that linesman. I think the reason that baseball cap was there for Wes Burns in the goal celebration was because somebody had chucked it in the general direction of the lino, because he's got his hand up there. It was a sunny day in Oxford on Saturday, and I'm thinking, should you have a linesman in the third tier of men's football want to go like that so he can see what's going on the pitch? Keeper puts a baseball cap on when they're playing into the sun so they can see what's going on. It's really important that the linesmen are able to see as well, and it's just indicative it's no special case for us. We're not treated any worse than any other team in the division, but it's a problem across all the divisions, and the FA or the league or whoever, it's their response if somebody does a poor job in the Premier League is to knock them down to the Championship, and then it knocks on from there. If they're rubbish in the Championship, they get knocked down to League One, and it goes. And I try not to be too critical because they're out there doing a job, and they've got a different view to what I've got in the stands. But it just feels there just needs to be a better basic standard of refereeing, and it should be a consistently high standard across all divisions. Not just because we're in the third tier doesn't mean we deserve any sort of less refereeing talent, I suppose, than Manchester City or Liverpool.
Definitely, mate. And we are bringing you takeaways for the Oxford game, but I want to quickly talk about the women's team, of course. They played on Sunday. You were there, like you always are. What's your one big takeaway from the weekend? I know we lost 1-0 against West Ham in the quarterfinals of the FA Cup live on TV, but what an occasion it was.
It was. I mean, my one takeaway is just pride, absolute pride in that team. It's been another great run. I mean, I stayed over in Oxford overnight on Saturday, and with the kickoff time being changed for being on the Beeb, it was an early kickoff or early set off from Oxford Sunday morning to get back. Absolutely worth it. And having 2,000 of us in there. But you know what? West Ham are a WSL side. They are a fully professional team. Those players, their job is being a professional footballer. And I know we've come a long way, and we've handed up the contract in the summer, but our players, they're still doing their day job as well. And the fact is, we gave West Ham a good game. They were in control. They had a lot of the ball, but you know what? We didn't make it easy for them. And it took one real bit of quality to play that ball in for Evans to score, and we kept it to 1-0. And when you look back to 2 years ago in the FA Cup, and we got to the fifth round and got Manchester City, when we lost 10-0, and no shame in that at all. But where we've come a long way, and I know West Ham, I know Manchester City, but they're still a good WSL side, And yeah, I'm just incredibly proud of those players. They put in an absolute shift over 90 minutes yesterday. Did not let up at all, yeah, just so proud. It's a real privilege to be there cheering them on, and hopefully we'll see a lot of those people who were sort of new to coming to Gold Star sort of staying on. Hopefully we'll see sort of increased numbers for the Plymouth Argyle game this coming weekend.
Definitely. I think that's the big word, is it? We're just proud and the pride we have of both our football clubs once again, the men's team and also the women's team. And of course, we've got the double header this weekend against Plymouth. The men play Plymouth on Saturday and the women have got Plymouth on the Sunday. So if you're free and want to go to both games, do so. We've got, of course, a lot of content coming on our YouTube channel and all the podcast feeds. So check out that. Matt, thanks once again for joining me.
My pleasure, Ross. Thank you for having me.
Top man. And let us know in the comments down below your thoughts, your takeaways from Saturday, and bring on the rest of the week. Bye-bye for now.